Well, welcome back to the Brighton Chamber podcast. I'm your host this week, Cameron Harris, and I'm joined by Gretchen Gomolka from the City of Brighton. Welcome to the studio. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Cameron. I'm glad to be here.
So first off, what can you tell me about the streetscape, all the changes kind of made to downtown, and do you feel like it's increased any sort of visitorship or foot traffic?
Yeah, the great thing about the streetscape is how much wider it made the sidewalks and accessible for all visitors of any ability to come into the city. And what I have noticed, I have the distinct benefit, I guess, of having my office look right downtown over the Mill Pond onto Main Street in the fire pit area. And on any given day, the foot traffic that I see both on Main Street and walking along our tridge that covers the Mill Pond, it's amazing to see. And I often have people coming by City Hall visiting. It's their first time to the city of Brighton. And one of the first things they note is just how vibrant the town is, how many people are walking around. And we love to hear that. People want to come back and visit our restaurants and visit our stores. So the streetscape is just so beautiful. And I hear comments constantly about how well it turned out.
Yeah. So I heard that there's a new app for the City of Brighton. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, we've had it probably coming up on 2 years here, but we really want to get more people to download the app. It's free in both the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. It's called My Brighton MI. And that app has a lot of useful tools. It can take you directly how to contact the city, how to pay your water bills, news and information. But one of the most useful tools and why people really like the app is the push notifications. So we use that as a tool to get information out to the public that is relevant and important that they see right away. Not everybody is on Facebook or on our website all the time to see those updates. Frequent updates may be lane closures or water main breaks, anything that they need to be aware of as they're making their day-to-day travels. And another really cool thing that we do is we promote all of the civic events that are coming up through the next week. So we have a little logo, Brighton Happenings. Look for it every week on our Facebook and our app, and it will summarize all of the activities happening in our downtown this coming weekend.
So you mentioned the civic events. Can you go into some of the changes or anything, any new civic events that are happening?
Yes, thanks for asking, Cameron. We have a plethora of civic events in the city. We really pride ourselves on providing experiences for families to come down and enjoy the outdoors and what City of Brighton has to offer, and making those free of cost are the really family-friendly events. I'll just go a quick list, if you don't mind, of the civic events, and then I'll hone in a little bit on those and where to find those. But we have our farmers market, which is every Saturday, May through October, right downtown in the municipal parking lot. On Cinco de Mayo, there's a festival that is near the LR Bowl. It's sponsored by LR Bowl. And we have the Memorial Day Parade. We have the swinging at the Amp, which is swing dancing for youth. It's really cool. The youth come down and they use the amphitheater, play some music, and do swing dancing. And that's on Mondays, May through September. In June, we have a fishing derby for kids. It's wildly popular. It's really cool to come down and just see all the kids fishing. They have a lot of awards for biggest, longest, most fish. There's plenty of awards for the kids out there. The Turn Up the Amp is Wednesdays, June, July, and August, where you can just come enjoy some music at the amphitheater. A new one this year is the Pound is sponsoring a Father's Day event called Happy Dad Promotional Party. That is going to be in lieu of the Weekends on West festival that they used to have. They are no longer having that. If anyone's familiar with the Yellowstone event the Chamber had over at Mount Brighton, they're moving that down to the City of Brighton and rebranding that slightly as the Brighton Country Boots and Beats, and that's in June. 4th of July, we always have the parade. Included in that is the Hungry Duck Run for the children. In the Imagination Station, the Kiwanis Club hosts book reading for children who happen to be at the Imagination Station on Tuesdays, July through August. And then the Taste of Brighton is a perennial favorite here that our merchants get together and they sponsor those events. let's see, we have the Brighton Street Art Fair. That is great. Come down and see some really great artists. They're judged. It's a curated, invite-only population that you're going to see down there. So it's really great art. And then the Smokin' Jazz and Blues is going to be rebranded as the Brighton Rock and Roll Blues, with the music being held at the amphitheater instead of the covered tent in the parking lot. We also have, excited to say, the Gilmore Girls celebration is back. That was huge last year. Estimates around 40,000 people came for a one-day event. The organizers are spreading this festival over 3 days. So it's going to be a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in September. Hopefully thin the crowds a little bit so that people don't come in the large droves that they did last year. And finally, we have the Brighton High School Homecoming Parade, the Veterans Day Parade, and then we have Brighton Ladies Night. Information on those dates can all be found on our website. It's brightoncitym.gov. And there, across the top, there's a section called Business and Community. If you go to Business and Community, you'll see a little drop-down section that says Civic Events. You can find all of that information here. Again, we really want people to look at our app. We'll be promoting those, and so everybody can see what's going on with those events. It's really exciting, all of the things we have in the city that we offer for families to enjoy.
Yeah, no, it sounds like there's a lot going on. I know you mentioned a few events happening with the amphitheater. Mm-hmm. Now, if I wanted to sort of rent out that space or do anything with the amphitheater, how would I go about doing that?
Yeah, so thank you for asking. The amphitheater is a really beautiful stage and sound system that the city's DDA invested in several years ago. It does get utilized with civic events, so anyone who wants to sponsor a civic event, they apply for a civic event, they get use of that amphitheater with their civic event. However, it is available at any time for anybody to rent for occasions. We've had weddings there, some band celebrations where maybe a school band wants to do an outdoor concert. We do offer that for rental. If the person renting it is a resident, it's a 4-hour block for $150. If they're a non-resident, it's a $300 charge for 4 hours. And we do ask for a refundable $500 deposit because we do have some sophisticated sound system components inside the amphitheater that we want to make sure that they're not damaged. And we really want to encourage use of that. Some exciting things we saw last year during the Holiday Glow, and I probably skipped over that, but we do have the Holiday Glow event as well. That is a chamber event that Santa comes and turns on all the holiday lights. It's a great celebration with a market downtown, and we had a local dance studio do some performances of their Nutcracker Ballet with the dancers in costume, and we had a local baton twirlers group come and do some baton twirling routines, and it was really cool to watch, and the community came out and watched that. So anyone who wants to use it and sort of promote what they're doing, maybe if there is a dance studio or a baton studio that wants to draw interest and get some new registrants and students, come use our amphitheater and showcase what you have.
Definitely. So maybe not as fun of a topic, but I heard that there's some new construction going on in Brighton off of I-96 about a new DDI going on. Can you explain what that is and everything that's happening with that?
Yes. So thank you for asking. I know this is hot on everybody's mind. We hear constantly, what's going on with this traffic circle? What is it going to be? Is it a roundabout? No, it's not a roundabout. Is it like Heartland? No, it's not quite like Heartland. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare. Yes, we do understand that there are going to be traffic delays. What we really want everybody to know is this is an MDOT project, and MDOT is Michigan Department of Transportation. They are doing a DDI, we like to call it for short, stands for Diverging Diamond Interchange. And there are a few in Michigan. They're building more. Unless you've driven down I-75 in the Auburn Hills Telegraph area, you may not have encountered this. But essentially, it should assist with the flow of traffic along Grand River. We all know how congested that gets, particularly with people entering and exiting the freeway during busy times. And the most challenging part right now would be when people are coming from East Lansing, Grand Rapids, heading eastbound on I-96. They get off at Grand River. They want to turn left or north onto Grand River to head into Brighton Township, Genoa Township, towards Howell. It's very difficult to make a left out of there. You have the oncoming traffic in both directions that never seems to clear to allow anyone to turn left, and there's no traffic signal there either. This Diverging Diamond Interchange it sounds complex, and I think it will be confusing when people first encounter it. MDOT should have some good signage, and once you're used to it, it really makes the flow of traffic so much smoother, and it doesn't seem as weird as it initially does. So imagine you're heading down Grand River and you're driving on the right-hand side of the lane, the street, like we always do here in the United States. What this is going to do, you stay in your lane, it's going to veer over. There's going to be a traffic light. When the light turns green, you're going to shift over to the other side of the road. So you're going to be driving on the left side of the road, and the oncoming traffic is going to be on the right side of the road. But what this enables the drivers to do to merge seamlessly onto and off of the highway, I've now moved over to the left side. If I'm in the leftmost lane, I can just merge directly onto the highway and I can get on heading westbound. But people coming off of the highway eastbound, they don't have to turn left. The traffic's already on that side of the road. They're just merging into traffic. And then once you get under the bridge, there's a traffic light. Those lane will shift you back over. So it just crosses right under that interchange, but it allows entrance and exit to and from I-96 to just be merged traffic, which would really should help with the flow of what we're seeing in the backups right now. It is slated to be a 2-year project. They're going to start with some beam removal at night on the bridge because they're going to redo the entire bridge as well. And there will be some work on I-96 that's starting soon. 2 years is a long time. There are going to be significant detours, and those detours will be changing. The lane closures will be changing. There will be times that certain ramps onto the highway are open. Maybe it's just eastbound heading north on Grand River's open. Maybe it's just westbound heading south on Grand River's open. Please follow the City of Brighton on our app and our Facebook, as well as MDOT's Facebook page, and that will be linked in the notes for the show. Those detours will probably be in flux. As we all know, construction isn't necessarily always on time. They have their best estimates of when they're going to start certain segments and phases, but those closures are going to be changing throughout the 2-year process. For most of the project, there will be some sort of throughway to Grand River in one direction or the other. There will be a period of approximately 2 months where it's completely closed. It will only be accessible by emergency vehicles. The police and fire, ambulance that need to traverse through there, MDOT will make sure they have pathway through, but there will be significant detours. There will be posted, like I said, on MDOT's website. There will obviously be signage. And we know there will be some other detours and cut-throughs that the locals will find other than the posted detours, which will help alleviate some of the traffic on the posted detours as well.
Yeah. What is the City of Brighton doing to get more involved in local businesses and merchants and everything like that?
Well, that's a great question. And we can kind of segue that a little bit from the highway talk, because we did have a large construction project, as we talked about earlier. That was the streetscape during 2023. Main Street was closed for 11 months of the year. And the city worked very closely with the merchants, really listening to merchants, trying to find what was the best tool and avenue to keep people coming downtown. Because people sometimes like to avoid construction and avoid traffic. And the greatest thing I think that came out of this collaboration with the city and the merchants is the merchants came together and really found this partnership, how to work together to drive business. They did coordinated sales, coordinated marketing to get people to come downtown. And we've really seen that continue post streetscape. I think the benefit they realized in working together, they are in competition in some respects, but they are also one cohesive downtown, and they all have the goal of getting people downtown. And if there's one shop downtown, someone might not make that trip. But if there's multiple shops and great restaurants, and you can try a different restaurant every time you come down, there's power in numbers and working together. And we did work closely at that time through the DDA. We had a budget where we did some merchant training on social media for them, teaching them how to use social media to drive business. We just had meetings where we listened, and we pivoted somewhat on some parking solutions. Merchants had suggested some parallel parking on one end of Main Street that wasn't currently being constructed, and we were able to accommodate that in some respects. You know, we can't do that, but we can do this, and that's a great idea. And now that streetscape's done, we're sort of, everybody's back on running as normal. But what I really want to focus on and working with it's called the EDCLC, and it stands for the Economic Development Corporation of Livingston County. The group's been around a long time. We've recently gone through some changes in our staffing model. The Howell Chamber will be taking over staffing for that countywide for the entire Economic Development Corporation. So I've been in contact with some staff there, as well as with staff we have at City Hall, and we're going to start trying to reach out again to the merchants and get back what we had during Streetscape, and talking to the merchants, hearing what their needs are, what can we provide, and what can we do as a whole as a city to make sure we're supporting our merchants as well as the residents. And I'm excited to sort of delve back into that and see what we can do.
Yeah, that is exciting. If people want to get in touch, how can they do that exactly?
Yeah, we have multiple ways that people reach out to the city. A favorite for a lot of people these days, they're on their phone, they're on their app. It's easier than going to a website, making a phone call. We'll get messages sent directly to us through our Facebook page, and we're very good about responding to those. We also, through our website, brightoncitym.gov, we have a contact us page. You can select which department you would like to contact to send a message directly to us. We will respond. Additionally, we have phones here at the City Hall. We haven't gone away with those. Our main number is 810-227-9011. You can call that, and there's a phone tree. It can get you to any department you need, or you can talk to whoever answers that phone at the main line, and they can assist you as well.
Well, Gretchen, I know we covered a lot of information. Is there anything else that you can think about?
Yes, thank you for asking. One thing I would like to say is please reach out to the city with any questions you have. We love to answer the questions and get the correct answer out on the street. We do know that social media is a popular place to ask, what's being built at the corner of A and B roads? Or why is there a new, you name it, car wash, Mexican restaurant? We know that's the running joke here in the city. But call the city with those questions. We are more than happy to answer and get the right word on the street, because we do see so much misinformation as people start answering questions and they don't have all of the information. We would love for those questions to come directly to us.
Yeah. Well, and for anyone that wants any more information, definitely check out the show notes below. But thank you, Gretchen, for joining me today. Thank you for checking out the episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you, Cameron.